Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman. And you're listening to the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet. Once again, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond, on the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Yes, that's right. Saturday morning, and of course, it comes to the point where we all need to be taught a lesson. And I tell you what, we used to have the professor come in at around 9 o'clock. But now, because we've had to switch some things, now we have the professor coming in at 10, it's 10:42 right now. We have the professor coming in at 10:40. And I say the professor, and you ask, well, Sam, who is the professor? Well, it's the professor of nostalgia. Someone who actually knows nostalgia better than me. And here I've been reporting since Roswell. But you know what? I do submit to my superiors, specifically when they do have educational knowledge. And there's only one person really that I pretty much sit down at the feet of knowledge when it comes to nostalgia. But not only that, there's also wrestling too. I mean, he has this in his back pocket, like some kind of like secret weapon. But listen, we know that he has it because why? Well, he's the professor, and that is Professor Deep Cut Dave. Professor, are you there, sir?
Yeah, barely, but I'm here.
Yeah, you're barely here on a Saturday morning. Hope you are doing well. Listen, I'm telling you what, it is one of those Saturdays, and I wanted to try to keep the theme of Sega Genesis. Now, I know that we're doing this. Are we doing it for 2 more weeks or 1 more week after this? Do you know? I don't know.
Whatever you want to do.
Whatever I want. Listen, did the guys behind the glass know? They don't. Well, they're shaking their heads. What do you mean it's all me? No, it doesn't matter. Wait, oh my gosh, good grief. Anyways, all that I know is that Sega Genesis had its own round of fighting games. And the reason why I said that is because I played the intro for a game called Eternal Champions. Professor, are you familiar with that game?
Well, not as much as I'd like. That came out, that was basically supposed to be Sega's answer to Street Fighter.
Or Mortal Kombat, because there were some type there.
Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat hadn't come out the previous year.
Right, correct.
Interesting. I mean, the characters themselves did not have fatalities, but rather the stages did.
Okay, can you go over the difference between now you got to remember now during the time of the early 90s, and so if we're going to keep it in that realm, there was a lot of hullabaloo over the fact that Mortal Kombat that came out by Midway in 1992 in the arcades, I think followed up by a Sega Genesis version and a Super Nintendo version, I think in 1993 or 94. 93. Okay, so about a year after they came out in the arcade. This was a big deal, the whole idea of violence. Now, the interesting thing is there were congressional hearings about violence in video games. Could you speak to anything about those hearings and why, I guess, politicians were so upset? Because I guess this was the first time.
If you don't remember, the 90s, man, that was a dark time. Basically, as a result of those hearings, that established the ratings board,
Okay, hold on. What do you mean the ratings board? What's a ratings board?
Well, and like how's the game rated?
Wait. So before we started ripping out hearts and spines in Mortal Kombat, there was no such thing as a ratings board. Was it these type of games that brought us to the ratings board era?
Well, pretty much. Like you remember Night Trap?
I do. That was Sega CD. That was after all of this.
Well, no. Well, Night Trap and Mortal Kombat, the two kind of.
So was the Sega CD hold on, wait a minute, pause. Was the Sega CD already out in 1992?
I think it was coming out. Yes.
But yes, I remember Night Trap. Night Trap being a game where a bunch of scantily clad girls and I guess these actual. I guess there. Can you talk about Night Trap for a moment? Talk about Night Trap.
Well, see, Night Trap, the footage itself was actually shot, I think, around 87, 88.
Right. It wasn't actually new footage. It was reused footage for the video game.
Right. Well, it was supposed to be, I want to say Parker Brothers. They were trying to get into the video game, specifically the.
Yeah, no, listen, I tell you what, nothing screams Parker Brothers than scantily clad women on a Sega CD.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. The device they were doing, well, that didn't work. That was a complete bust. And then some third party figured, well, I got this footage, might as well use it.
So you're telling me they were trying, so Parker Brothers was trying to make a game of Night Trap with scantily clad women being abducted in the night by ninja warriors with super, I guess, infrared goggles. No, so that was something it was filmed in 87. Someone tried to capitalize on it before. It didn't happen. So then somebody else was like, oh, well, might as well have that. Let's just go ahead and publish this. And that's what kind of led to the ratings board.
Full motion video.
Well, hold on. Say that again.
Well, it's like they would turn it into an interactive video game because it was supposed to be like a video board game.
A video board game? What the? How do you have a video board game? What is that all about?
Well, that was definitely an '80s thing. The idea is that you would play a VHS tape, and
oh my gosh! Wait a minute! Pause! Wait a minute! Hold on! Wait a minute! Oh no! Hold on! Stop! Listen, I remember that now. Didn't they have a WrestleMania VHS board game?
I believe they. I think they had like 2 or 3, but
2 or 3. Oh my gosh!
I mean, you know.
Well, but I think that the one that I remember had Andre the Giant. It was WrestleMania 3 themed. Right after WrestleMania 3, what would that be? That would be like 1988, I believe, or 19. Is it 19? I think in 1988. Yeah, so I remember those, and VHS board games. So that was a whole thing in the 80s. Can you talk a little bit about VHS board games?
Those things were. Well, they were trying. I remember there was a Clue.
There was all kinds. There was a Clue one. Wait a minute. I didn't know there was a Clue one.
There were 2 Clue ones. Actually.
There were 2 Clue ones? You mean that there was not only did Miss Scarlet kill somebody in the kitchen with the candlestick, but you're telling me that Colonel Mustard also killed somebody in the library with the rope?
Yeah, well, this was based on the Clue, the Master Detective version. So you had like Colonel Mustard, Sergeant Gray, Madame Rose.
No, listen, guys, I'm not going to talk to you guys about Madame Rose. I'm not going to talk. Anyways, so Madame Rose, but there was so there was a couple of Clue games. There was a couple of WrestleMania games. So VHS board games. So I guess the idea and the concept is that you would put the VHS in the television and educate the audience real quickly. Like, so what is the concept? I put the VHS, but how does that help me get along in the board game?
Well, it depends on what screen is. I mean, they'll play like a clip it from a movie or a show, and it'll be like, take 2 rolls, or you got the bad part, so you miss a turn. So player on your left misses a turn.
But is Hulk Hogan going to come out and say, "Oh, brother, everybody else loses a turn and you jump 10 spots"? Does that happen?
Well, dude, they're not getting home. Hulk Hogan's got more important things to do, man. You have to sell for Tom McGee.
Who's Tom McGee?
Exactly.
Well, I don't know if Tom McGee is going to be in the Royal Rumble tonight, too. Maybe he might be number 30, but listen, I'm telling you what. Dave, we got golly, like, you know what? Screw it. Screw the time. Listen, tell Timmy and Tommy we're gonna screw the time. Listen, we gotta sit there. We gotta talk about the Royal Rumble for the next few moments. Dave, listen, tonight is the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view. My favorite pay-per-view. Because you never know who's gonna come out. You never know if Booker T is gonna come out and get thrown out in about 30 seconds. What is it? What is it? Oh, what is the guy with the snake hand? What's his name? Oh, yes, Morella. Yeah. Morella comes out and he gets thrown over. So tonight is the Royal Rumble. And a lot of people think, and they enjoy WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the big hullabaloo. And a couple of years back, they said, well, the winner of the Royal Rumble gets to fight whoever's the champion. Of course, now they have like so many championship belts. You don't know what the hell's going on. But I tell you what, tonight is going to be exciting. I did watch segments of SmackDown last night. I watched Raw on Monday. I'm excited. It's going to be very interesting. I've not pulled up the list here. I'm going to pull up the list here. Do you have the match list in front of you? You said I got an idea. No, what you got is predictions. That's why we have you on, because you're a professor and stuff. Like, real quick, Professor, when did you start watching wrestling?
The first time I ever saw Hulk Hogan was on Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
Oh, that was the old cartoon back in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
I really didn't get into wrestling proper till about 89, 90.
89, 90. Okay. So, well, I that was the golden. Is that considered the golden era of wrestling?
Well, I mean, golden age of TV wrestling, I guess.
Ah, there you go. See, that's why you're the professor, because you can sit there and articulate those things a little bit better than anyone else. Like, I'm sitting there still trying to pull up the match list because, like I was telling people before, in the last segment, I was able to pull up the Sam Cams. So you're the first Sam Cam interview today, and the first time we've been on the Sam Cam because Lord Blank has been messing everything up. So as I'm sitting there here looking at the Royal Rumble predictions, Royal Rumble, RUM. Can you guys do this faster? Oh my gosh, Royal Rumble. I'm sure that the professor. Well, of course I know the professor has it already. Royal Rumble. What is it? Match card? Card? Can we just sit there and say that? What's the card? What's going on, Dave?
I think it's going to win the men's Royal Rumble.
No. We save that for last. Pause. We save that for last. Save that one for last. Let's go with the women's Royal Rumble, where everyone's going to be having a bathroom break to begin with.
I'm going to have to go with Bayley.
I saw Bayley. They had a whole segment with Bayley the other night, and I was with a couple of people, and they were knocking on Bayley. I think that Bayley has been one of the best performers in terms of the women's divisions. Now, I prefer UFC women, not WWE women. But in terms of athletic ability, I would say that Bayley is one of the best around. Don't you agree?
Oh, I'd say so, yes. And Damage Control is really, they're really cementing them as a major stable. So her winning the Royal Rumble, I think that would help them also.
So who would she face at maybe WrestleMania? Because it's like, so which championship would she go after? See, that's a good one. No, hold on. Listen, just hold on to that. Let's hold on to that and let's see if Bayley wins, and then we'll talk about that next week. So we have the Women's Royal Rumble match, the United States Championship. This is an interesting one. Social media savant, I guess if that's what you want to call him, Logan Paul is facing Kevin Owens. I guess Kevin Owens won the tournament. I mean, wasn't there a tournament to go against him? And it's like, but then before the tournament, well, hold on, wait a minute, pause. Wait a minute, wait. Hold on. There was a tournament, but before the tournament even started, wasn't Kevin Owens and Logan Paul already having like set promos and stuff before the even tournament started?
Yes, I think they were.
They were.
I gotta go with Owens.
You think so you think Owens is going to take back the prestige of the United States Championship from Logan Paul?
Well, it couldn't be any worse than Logan Paul.
Listen, but Logan Paul is very, very interesting. He's got a very big social footprint. He's got a whole drink named after him. And you know what? He's not that athletically bad. Okay, so pause. You didn't even say it. Listen. You know what? Listen. You know what? You didn't say anything for about 2 seconds. I'm just gonna cut you off. Good grief. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So undisputed. This one's an interesting one. Last night I was watching L.A. Knight. Yeah. AJ Styles. AJ Styles coming back, wearing what was it? A raincoat last night. I don't know what the heck was that all about. So he was wearing AJ Styles wearing a raincoat. God bless AJ Styles. Love AJ Styles. So I love AJ Styles. So don't get it twisted. But AJ Styles came out last night. They do this whole thing at the beginning of the show. So there is this whole thing between LA Knight and Soa Sikoa and then there's going to be, I guess this is a 4-way match, right? Is that what I'm saying? So against Roman Reigns, he's the champion. Randy Orton, AJ Styles, LA Knight. Professor, please give me some clarity on this.
I think they're going to keep the title on Reigns at least until WrestleMania.
Okay, so that brings me to the Royal Rumble match. The Royal Rumble match is going to be very interesting because several weeks ago we had The Rock. You like how I rolled the R? Rock. The Rock. The Rock came back and said that he wants to be the head of the table because he is the head of the table. Now, often people sit there and wonder and speculate because CM Punk just came back that he would win the Royal Rumble and say that he's going to face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. But my sources tell me that The Rock might show up. The Rock is going to win WrestleMania. Win the Royal Rumble. Excuse me. Win the Royal Rumble. Head on to WrestleMania. Fight Roman Reigns. And at WrestleMania 40, beat Roman Reigns to become the head of the table. Just recently, he was brought on to be on the board of the WWE about a day or so prior to all of the allegations from the Wall Street Journal that came out about Vince McMahon. Now, I know I just gave you a whole bunch of throws right there. Dave, I know you're a professor of nostalgia, professor of wrestling, and you're going to be able to knock each one out of the park, so go.
Well, for the Royal Rumble, I think it's going to come down to Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. Everyone else is just going to be filler.
So you don't think that The Rock is going to show up? He's just, because The Rock is who he is, he can just sit there and say, hey, I'm going to fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And do you think that's how it's going to go down?
I think that may be the worst angle they could do, so naturally they'll do
it. Oh, God bless you. Okay, so anyways, go back. Golly, I just want to sit there. I don't even care about Cody and CM Punk anymore. But before we sit there and skip over that, can you talk about Cody, CM Punk? What happens? What's your prediction? Who does what goes where, and how does this all go down?
Well, they're trying to do this whole redemption arc. Cody won the Rumble last time and completely choked
at WrestleMania. Right.
So they could try it again. He comes in, he wins, he goes on to WrestleMania. Of course, if he loses that, forget that. That's it.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, pause. Hold on. So wait. Hold on, wait. Pause. Say that one more time. What?
If Cody loses at the Royal Rumble, that's it. I don't think we're going to be giving anything.
The story is over. The story is over.
Well, the audience isn't going to accept him. They'll think, oh, this guy's a choke artist. Why bother?
So you think so? Okay, so here's my prediction. I'm thinking that CM Punk is going to win the Royal Rumble because he's going to go after Seth Rollins. Cody Rhodes does not win the Royal Rumble. He has to go into the Elimination Chamber and try to beat that. And then there's going to possibly be some kind of weird three-way. This is what I'm thinking. Some weird three-way between Roman Reigns, The Rock, and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes finishes the story, pins The Rock, not Roman Reigns, gets the belt at WrestleMania. That's my prediction. Is that a hot take or what?
Well, no, that makes sense. So naturally, they won't do it.
Listen, you're just here you go. You're just trying to puff me up. No, but I'm serious. So you think that it's gonna do you think it's gonna be Cody Rhodes or CM Punk?
Well, like I said, it could be either or.
No, Dave. Listen, we're gonna have to sit there.
One, if I got to pick one, I'm gonna go with Punk.
No, really. Listen, I got a buddy of mine. That's the Prophet director, Mr. Prophet, originally from Chicago, but now lives on the moon on a moon base. He cannot. He's from Chicago. Cannot stand CM Punk. Does not want to see that happen. Wants things to happen the other way. We were talking about it last night. So this is very exciting. Royal Rumble. Who was the first winner of the Royal Rumble?
Okay, I want to say Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
That is absolutely right. It was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And the first person to sit there and start a Royal Rumble and finish a Royal Rumble, that was. Oh, this is very easy. Come on.
Hulk Hogan?
No, shame on you. Next.
No.
1992, go.
Oh, Ric Flair.
There it is. Yes. He wasn't number one, he was number two. Ric Flair was number two, and this is during the time when, of course, he came under the Heenan family, which was amazing. He came under the Heenan family, came into the WWF with the WCW belt, the big gold belt, and they were censoring it, which was very, very interesting. But then he eventually won the Royal Rumble in 1992, solidifying himself not only as the best in the NWA, the WCW, and the Southern District and the Southern Territories, but going up to the Northern Eastern Territories, winning the Royal Rumble, start to finish, being the first person to do that. The second person to do that, who was number one and finished to number 30, was Shawn Michaels. However, but the first person to ever start the Royal Rumble and finish the Royal Rumble from beginning to end was Ric Flair. So good for you for getting that one. I hear silence.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and it's funny, when Flair brought the belt with him, WCW was doing the Great American Bash. They literally did not have a belt.
Right. No, that was hardcore. That was pretty hardcore back then. You know what I'm saying?
One of his old belts, and they just stapled like a plate that had like a world champ written on it.
It was incredible. It was incredible.
Wow, that's really.
Yeah. Really? Yeah, really? Well, listen, really, it's going to be the Royal Rumble tonight. Dave, listen, we're going to talk next week. I don't know. I guess we might talk about Sonic next week. Or sorry, not, what did I say? Excuse me. We could talk about, the blue mascot of Sega. We've had about last week we talked about Sega. This week we talked about Sega, some fighting games, Royal Rumble. And then next week, maybe we'll finish it out with the blue mascot of Sega. Next week. Dave, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm sure we're going to be catching up tonight during the Royal Rumble, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Take care of yourself. Take care of everyone next week. And once again, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my beautiful felt puppet heart for being a part of the show every week. You really do help us set the standard and raise the bar.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. That is Deep Cut Dave, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. And so it is 11:05. I know. Listen, I'm a little bit longer than I thought I would be. Well, this is what happens. This is exactly what happens. We're sitting there, we're talking to Deep Cut Dave, and we're going over some things. But you know what? What I'm going to go over in the next few moments is the fact that the world is going bonkers. You know what? And the emergency service, the emergency, the EMS service, has sat there and been fraudulent to the Richmond voters. I mean, sorry, the Richmond residents, and a civil war. 20,000 views on a reel that we did just 2 days ago. We'll talk about that here in a few moments, probably in about five minutes or so, here on the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning.